This team sucks.
This team
sucks.
Hold on. No, you're wrong about this. I actually have some positive things to say about Cincinnati.
You should say them, then.
No, see, I think you're overly confident on West Virginia.
Yeah.
You need to reevaluate your look on West Virginia and give Cincinnati a second look.
Yeah. Okay.
First of all, one of the best coaches in the conference.
He's an awful coach.
Oh my God, Scott Satterfield is an awful
coach, dude.
Oh my God. So what happened? Why don't you like Scott Satterfield?
I don't know. It's just he's always kind of been a little bit overhyped in my opinion. I thought the hire was weird. They obviously had to hire somebody of a pretty big name. Satterfield does have a big name when they lost Fickle, but I something about his teams just don't. They don't resonate with me. When I watch his teams, I don't see it. I don't see the talent there. I don't really see him as a good coach. Sorry.
Whatever. Cincinnati, Scott Satterfield, good head coach. Back for his second season. His first season was not a success. 3-9 there, but didn't really have much to work with. Emory Jones was this quarterback last year. So, I mean, how many games are you expecting him to win with Emory Jones at quarterback? He's got the same coordinating staff back below him. As far as the quarterback, kid named Brendan Sorsby is going to be playing quarterback, and he's actually got nice-looking numbers. Here, let me put him up on the screen. He comes from Indiana, so this kid played in the Big Ten last year, and his numbers look pretty good. One sec, let me get him up. Here we go. His numbers from last year. I mean, he only started like 6 games or 7 games, I think it was. 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I'm not going to pretend to know a ton about him because I don't, but I mean, got some decent-looking numbers. Comes into play quarterback for Cincinnati. Anything that isn't Emory Jones is an upgrade here.
Yeah, I will give him a little bit of credit. I'm looking at his game logs. His worst game was against Purdue. It was the last game he played. Sorsby. He had a good game against Penn State, Illinois. Illinois was a pretty bad defense last year, though. Wisconsin played decently. Like, it doesn't look like he's putting up terrible numbers, although he did struggle against Rutgers. But he wasn't the starter at the beginning of the year, so he played a lot late in the season when a lot of teams probably had injuries involved and defenses that weren't very good. So like he's not god awful, but he's not good in any circumstance. But in this situation, anything is better than Emory Jones. So you're right.
All right. So yeah, upgrade from Emory Jones. Their RB1 is back. Corey Kiner, so, he's still there. 1,000 yards last year. They also brought in 2 transfers, one from Ohio State and a kid that was second team all conference from Grambling. So running back, they're set. They got their guy back and added 2 more pieces. So running back room should be solid. Their leading wide receiver is back. His name's Henderson. They lose their number 2, 3, and 4 receivers, but they bring their main guy back. They also added some weapons through the portal. 2 transfers from Conference USA. They brought in a kid from FIU, and they brought in a 1,000-yard receiver from UTEP. Or that might have been reversed. A 1,000-yard receiver might have been from FIU. They brought in 2 starting wide receivers from UTEP and FIU. They also brought in a kid from Ohio State. They also brought in a tight end. So they brought their lead receiver back and then crushed it in the portal as far as receiving weapons. So definitely an upgrade there as well. So far, quarterback upgraded. Running back room upgraded. Receiving room upgraded. Ready for this? Their entire offensive line is back. The entire offensive line. This is an offensive line that went into last year with just 1 returning starter. They bring them all back. So the Cincinnati offense, I'm a fan. I think the Bearcats are going to score points.
Yeah, just like last year, I think the offense is not as big of a concern. I mean, if you look at the stats last year, I mean, they were a great rushing team. They couldn't throw the ball. Sorsby will improve that a little bit. So, like, the offense will be a bit better. The O-line's the strength of the team. Everybody's saying that. So that makes sense. Offensively, they're not the worst team on the planet.
What do you mean, not the worst team?
No,
they had a quarterback that protects the ball.
Okay.
They got a great running back room. An entire offensive line's back.
This is what I mean. If you look at the passing numbers, and what I'm looking at right now, the passing numbers, let's say they slightly improve. Let's say instead of
improve, they had Emory Jones.
Let's say they go from 109th ranked, right, in yards per attempt to, let's say they get to 80th. Okay?
I'm saying 55th.
That's very high. But, okay. And then their rushing room is obviously still going to be great. I think the offense can carry into being like a top 40 offense in the country. But that gets outweighed by the fact their defense was god-awful last year.
Okay, let's talk about the defense then. 4 of their top 6 defensive linemen are back. They lose their main 2 linebackers. who are number 1 and number 3 on the team in tackles. But apparently they're switching their defensive set up to a 3-3-5 to give the secondary some help. Secondary doesn't look great. They lost 2 safeties who are number 2 and 4 on the team in tackles. So they lost their leading 4 tacklers, but they brought in a bunch of transfers.
That's my point. You're now gambling on the transfers being good, and like there's some teams where I believe in that for. I don't really think if you're replacing shit with more shit is the way that I'm kind of looking at this defense. I think their defense is still going to be holding them back significantly, and in the Big 12 you can't have a bad defense because everybody pretty much has a good defense. When you look at Oklahoma State's got a great defense this year, Arizona's a little bit worse, but there's a lot of teams up at the top that have good defenses that are going to crush this team when they play.
I disagree.
Plus bad coaching.
Let's play the win-loss game.
Plus bad coaching.
Let's see you put your money up. Let's see you put your money where your mouth is and start assigning some
I know
help.
they have a week 2 loss.
Keep in mind, this is a live stream, so this is re-recorded, so we can go back to this.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait. Cincinnati. Cincinnati Bearcats.
What a week 2 game.
Hit. Coach Doozy. That's a win or get fired job for Doozy. All right. So ready.
I'm circling one on here that looks like an upset spot.
1-0.
Yes, they will beat
2-0.
Towson.
3-0.
I think
4-0.
Those two in the middle are not.
They're not losing to the Red Hawks, bro.
Best team in the MAC. I think they could lose that game. Just saying. Houston, they'll beat. Houston's a very bad team.
Best team in the MAC.
Okay. Houston's a very bad team, so they should beat them.
Think they're going to lose I think they're going to. You think they're going to lose to Miami, Ohio 2 years in a row?
But that breeze through that. Let's say that's a chalk up win because you like chalking up those as wins. I think they're losing to Pitt. I think.
Oh wait, why did I say 4-0? It's 3-0. I'm sorry. They play Oklahoma in the 4th game.
No, they don't. That was last year.
Oh my God!
You're looking at last year's schedule.
I was going to say
no. Their schedule is Towson, Pitt, Miami of Ohio, and
No,
Houston.
I know. I switched the browser to 2024 to 3.
I think they're losing to Pitt. We're off on that game. I think Pitt's better than them, personally.
I don't hate Pitt this year.
That's a big rivalry game too. Those two teams hate each other. So
4-0.
Okay, I got them 3-1. Let's keep going.
At Lubbock's a loss.
Bounce House.
At Bounce House is a loss.
Yeah.
5-2. There's my 5th win right there. Arizona State.
I've got them 4-2. I think they win that game. I think they lose to Colorado.
That means they would be 4-3.
Yeah, 4-3. Sorry.
So
I'm reading.
I have 5-2 going into Colorado.
They're losing the last 5 games of the season. This is a 4-win team to me. 4-5. They could beat
TCU at home.
Yeah, I think TCU will need that game too.
I think they could get 7.
All right, we're fun. We believe the opposite about this team. I think this team is bad. But
so I'm on over 5.5 wins. Andy's on under 5.5 wins. Next.
UCF. Oh boy.
Bounce House.
All
right. So UCF head coach Gus Malzahn back for his 4th season. First year in the Big 12 wasn't terrible. He went 6-7, 3-6 in conference. Went to a bowl game.